Good afternoon and welcome to the Shrewsbury Housing Authority Annual Election of New Officers. I will open the meeting at 4:04 and I will call nominations for chairman.
Ms. Bergeron, with your permission, I would nominate Kathy McSweeney for the position of chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote is unanimous.
Ms. Bergeron, with your permission, I would nominate Paul Campanello as the vice chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote is unanimous.
Ms. Bergeron, with your pleasure, I would like to nominate Richard Ricker for the position of treasurer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Vote is unanimous. And the annual meeting is now closed and Kathy, you are now chairman.
I am. What does my name tag say?
A tiny little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I am just looking for my meeting notes, and then we'll get right to it.
Congratulations, you're in charge.
Thank you.
Tag, you're it.
Yep.
You're in charge. Good.
All right, so with that, as I pull up my notes, I will call the May 13 Shrewsbury Housing Authority meeting to order. Our first order of business is review and acceptance of our April 8th minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Ms. McSweeney, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the April 8th minutes as printed.
Second.
We have a first and a second. No changes, they're good. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next item is a review of our financials. Are there any comments or questions on what we've received in our packet?
Ms. McSweeney, I'd like to make a comment for debate or bring something to the board, I guess would be the point. Up until 6 minutes ago, I was treasurer, and as treasurer, I reviewed the previous balances.
And now he's
I was-
passing it to me.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to continue. That's why I said for discussion. I would be happy to continue this task. I mean, if the board so deems. In any event, if you look carefully at your package under the central one line items, they're not numbered, but line items 1, 3, and 5, which would be the first T-Mobile, the first Nextel. I'm sorry, the first T-Mobile, the only Metro, and the second Nextel. All have CDs expiring literally in like 2 weeks to 2 to 3 weeks, 6 to 23. The rates for those CDs are not bad. Relatively speaking, we saw the interest rates take off. We caught the wave perfectly, as you all know, at Cornerstone. Now they're coming back down, but I'm not sure what the rates at Central One are. However, if you total up those 3 CDs, which are all coming due in just a matter of weeks, it's over $170,000. When we were in a similar position 6 months ago, Ms. Bergeron and I made some movement around, which is reflected on the bottom of that same schedule. I would propose a similar undertaking, and I am happy to go, or happy to ask Mr. Ricker to go with me, or any combination of the two of us, happy to go there and ask them what their current rate is and what happens on expire. Because my sense is they might auto-renew without us ever getting a chance to manipulate the outcome. My thinking, with respect to the board, is we're at about 173 odd K, that we might take the proceeds of that, either a nice round number like 100 or 150K, and get a new high value CD. Again, I would say at Central One if the rates were close, rather than move money across town again. And then take that balance, which if it were 150K CD, a 23K balance, or whatever it worked out to be, and open a checking account at Central One, just so the next time this happens, we could put more in, take more out, and move it around. It was just a thought. I wanted to propose it to the board. I'm happy to shepherd the idea, or I'm happy to take other input, but it seemed timely.
Well, can I add?
Certainly.
Wow.
So, come. I think, checking account aside, I think it's easy enough to renew the CDs, just to straight renew them.
But I was thinking a roll up of some sorts.
But we can't combine them, that's the problem,
Oh,
you know?
so there goes my really good idea as my last active
Just
treasurer.
Yeah.
If we could, just for everyone's edification,
Well, we
why
can't combine
can't we?
them, well, we can combine,
Because we did that
No,
last
because-
time, Richard. We combined them by taking them out of Central One and moving them to Cornerstone, and we combined them. So I thought we could, but I could easily be wrong. When there
well,
were
okay,
multiple
I'm gonna take
terms.
that back, but, it is equally important to know historically what we've gotten from each carrier.
Fair enough.
And so that's the reason why we set up different accounts to begin with.
Okay.
Okay? So that's the only caution I would suggest here. However, you're right, but I don't think that we even have to combine them in order to get the good rate. So.
Either way, I think some attention needs to be paid to it. In one
I
way.
think you're
Okay.
absolutely right, and I think that we should absolutely renew them and get the best rate we can, and interview a couple of banks to do so, and I'm happy to do that now that I'm the treasurer.
Okay. I wasn't meant to.
Well, that's my job,
Okay.
that's my job,
Okay.
but it's an easier job than chair, so I'm happy,
Yeah.
I'm passing that off to Kathy, and I think that, it's an easy enough thing to do.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I'm okay with it.
It's not rocket science.
Kelly and
It
I
just
will
took
do it.
Kelly and I some cycles.
She's just gonna have to put together the election slate for you to sign, certifying who's the treasurer, so that I can then do that. Otherwise, Paul will have to do it.
I actually think I'm still certified at Central One because I was part of the withdrawal there.
I know you are, but you're certified as treasurer, that's the problem.
Right. Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can't act as treasurer if you're not the treasurer, so that's my point. So
Okay.
You just gotta do it right, that's all.
Whatever. That's why I brought it up for the group to discuss. Whatever the group thinks, I just think there's a window for action.
Yep, and I agree, and I think we'll take action, and with the chair's permission, I will take that action and consult with you if I need to.
Any other comments from this end?
Just a question. If you did not continue to use Central One, if their rate wasn't conducive to, if there was a better rate somewhere else and you jumped ship and moved the money, would you still want to do a checking account?
In that case,
Oh,
I would put any balance into the checking account that we already created at Cornerstone. The only reason I was thinking is we still have, so what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 CDs at Central One. And my plan or suggestion was to move 3 of them. If we moved 3, we would still have 4 there. So the idea of having a checking account there is no different than having a checking account at Cornerstone. It just gives us a little flexibility with liquid cash. That was the reason. There's no hidden agenda other than a place to park leftover cash.
But we're not using it. That's, the checking account's not even being used.
We just deposit income money.
Right, so we're not using that money.
Well, the idea is we use that money and then when it's a threshold, we move that into a CD at some point.
Oh, well, I think the Cornerstone business checking is there.
Yes, correct. But it wasn't a year ago when we did this whole initiative. Right.
Right, so, yeah, if we stay at Central One, yeah, for that purpose, to build up a fund,
Yeah.
then yes, we should do a check.
Whatever the leftover was in my little mouth.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm only gonna, I'll give it a little bit of thought as to whether it's worth even worrying about segregation of the funds anymore, because.
Because we have a
it
record of
probably isn't.
deposits.
Because it probably isn't. Yeah, well,
And we
this
did
was the easy way to keep it back, so.
And we
so
did
that-
it once. We did it last
Yeah.
summer or last fall. Yeah.
It's been years, there's no reason for us to worry about what we've gotten from, as long as the rents are up to date and are currently where they should be, then there really is no reason to worry about the segregation of funds.
Yeah.
And that's the way I'm thinking about it right now.
I think we overcame that hurdle last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, either way, we'll renew these and get them done, and if we do keep them at Central One, we'll open up a checking account
For any-
if everybody feels that's a good idea.
I think it would be complimentary given that we're already a customer there, so I don't think there'd be any associated fees or anything like that.
Right, right. If there is, we won't do it.
Right. I can't imagine. They're very, Central One is very customer facing friendly.
Okay.
At least that's been my experience.
I just got a notice of rates of over 4%.
Yeah, there or somewhere else. Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, then by all means.
Yeah, so, I mean, the rates are up, so.
So this will, since they expire before our next meeting, do you need a motion to take care of this?
No,
for us?
because as treasurer, we can do it.
Okay, all right.
As
Good,
long as
thank
everybody
you.
understands. I mean, this discussion is mostly for just clarification in case anybody had any questions about it.
Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay, all
Thank you.
right, good. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
And you can just update us on what you decided to do at our next meeting.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the vendor check register. Was there anything on there that we needed further explanation on? Or detail?
If there's not, Miss Chair, I'll make a motion.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to make a motion, we pay the monthly check register, 49 checks totaling $206,735.29.
Can I just ask a question before I second?
Yes.
Kelly, what is the big bill for the generator?
Can you give us the account number, please, just so everyone can
It's
find it?
22830.
228.
Very topical as I turned down.
That's a huge bill. Talk
That is
to
a
us.
huge bill. When you pulled in, if you saw, there's construction going on out there, we're getting a new generator.
So what is this bill for?
This is for the work they've done so far. We're still waiting for the generator to come in, but they have done all the electrical work all the way up to the 8th floor.
They had to rewire everything?
Yes,
Wow.
Yep.
rewire,
Did we go out to bid on that?
yes, Graves
Did I
Engineering
miss that?
did.
I must have missed it.
How long ago?
Last year.
Yeah, I think it was official.
Oh.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
What's the generator itself cost?
That has to include the cost of the generator, which,
This adds up all the continuation sheet of what they've done. The generator in total is coming to $279.
I stand corrected. Wow.
Wow.
In this generator that we have now is on our last leg, so.
How long have we
did
had the one that we have now?
Since the building was
I was
done.
gonna say original.
Okay.
Original.
But still, I mean, generators are not cheap anymore.
Nothing's cheap.
Yeah.
No.
Don't blame the tariffs, for God's sakes.
Well,
Well, unless it's Chinese, I can find it.
all right. Anything else on here that we should take a second
I'm
look
okay.
at?
I made a motion, so I think.
I second
For a
it.
second, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none, motion carries. Moving on.
I'll make a motion, through the chair, that we pay the Section 8 voucher program checks in the amount of $4,331.15.
Second.
And I have a question, is it, how long has it been 3? Wasn't it always 2?
Yeah, I just added another.
Okay, all right. Good.
Yeah, and so Palm Beach asked if I would still take her.
Okay,
And I said yes, so.
Look at us.
She just poured it out and we pay.
okay,
Palm Beach.
Which one's that, Palm Beach?
Yeah, that's new.
great, okay.
And Life Great.
Yeah, look at us, exactly. Living the high life down at Palm
All right,
Beach.
All right, so we have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Madam Chair, if it's all right with you, I would make a motion that we pay the landlord and tenant check register in the amount of $184,256.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And Chair, I would make a motion that we pay the payroll for April as printed.
Second.
Any discussion? Motion carries. Moving on to our vacancy reports. I see people, your crew's been busy.
Oh, my crew's been really busy. So right now we have 2 at Francis. One is a move down. The other one, we're in the middle of champ screening.
Okay,
No vacancies at Elizabeth, and we're getting a family unit at Parker, where that family bought a home.
oh, that's the way it's supposed to work, that's
Yes.
awesome.
And she bought a home in Auburn, and she's been with us for 16 years.
That's great,
Wow.
that's wonderful
And how'd
news.
she leave it?
I was just gonna say, how's the unit, Gary?
It's not bad, but it needs,
Oh, she's been there.
16
Your
years.
tenant, yeah,
Come by my house.
so look at the apartment, it's,
Good, nice.
you know,
good,
just
So
where.
she cared for it. That's good.
Yeah.
Good,
That's
excellent.
That's the
great.
story right there.
That's
Yeah.
exact,
That's the story.
That's all about.
absolutely
That's why
what we
we
love
do
to
what
see.
we
Yeah,
do.
that's the story.
That's right.
Yep, that's great news.
Yep. Thank you.
And then busy here as well.
Busy here as well. The towers, we have 2. One, just left, and the other one went into long-term care.
Okay. And we haven't started the process for.
One might be a transfer,
Okay,
from a Ridgeland Road.
Okay.
over.
okay. All right, so we'll wait for an update on that.
Ridgeland Road, from Ridgeland Road to here?
Yes.
That seems unusual.
Handicap unit.
Okay.
Okay, all right. To hear more on that next month. Section 8,
100%.
Awesome.
And 3 portabilities.
yep, good for you.
Kathy already caught that.
Okay, we don't need a motion to do anything on that, right?
Nope.
That's just information. Okay, moving on to the social services report. Anything of significance you want us to know about this?
Patty saw 24, but she was on vacation for a week.
Okay.
So that's why her numbers were
Yeah.
down.
And she's still going from location to location?
Yes.
Good, that's good. All right, next on our agenda is
You.
the Housing Authority updates, even though I tend to get focused on this.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I said.
there is an update. I think at last month's meeting, I updated that the community preservation had deemed, all 6 aspects of the project we proposed to be eligible for community preservation funds. So that was great news. We didn't do that in time for the May meeting, so we'd be on the fall town meeting for approval from the town meeting members. Last week at the Affordable Housing Trust meeting, they voted to fund 2 of the projects. The field testing and the existing condition survey, so a total of $18,000. I just had CPC last night and I asked for something in writing and I don't believe I've received it in time for this meeting. And in their defense, it could be in my inbox and it came after 3. So that's good news. So those are 2 things. Once we have that in writing for them, we can get started and then hopefully roll into the other 4 aspects of it. Once we get approval if we get approval from town meeting.
Yeah, Kathy and I did meet with the Affordable Housing Group and the month before,
Yes.
and we discussed the needs. And so they asked what were the most urgent ones, or which were the most critical in order to keep the project moving, and they funded those 2.
Yep,
Great.
so 18,000 of the 86 we were gonna go to town meeting for, so that's good, it's a great partnership going forward. In light of that, so that's my update on that, but by statute, there needs to be a member of the Housing Authority that sits on the Community Preservation Committee. And I have served 3 years, and I'm sure someone else wants a turn. So I'd be
Wouldn't be
looking.
too sure.
Yeah. But I think we would be better served by having different people serve on this committee for a year at a time. So I'm looking for volunteers to serve on this. It meets the first Monday of the month and reviews projects on all 3 areas, so housing, open space and recreation, and then historic. And you may remember, I warned everyone last June that I would be coming with this request at the May meeting.
I don't recall.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
Amnesia.
Yep.
Amnesia.
Yeah, I do think it would be good for someone else to, I served on the ballot committee, and then I've served on this for 3 years.
Yeah, I hear a lot of continuity right there. That's what I hear.
Well, I think a different member would give some different insight to it.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. I've got too much on my plate. No, I really do. I'm on 3 other boards and I'm just out straight.
I can't say publicly, but I have an ongoing commitment every Monday night. So
I just can't do it, I'm sorry.
I don't know what happens if no one volunteers.
You get reelected.
I have another board that I serve on, and their meetings are the first Monday of the month, so.
I'm every Monday.
Kathy, can we ask you to serve one more year? And as we see how things pan out, maybe. I mean,
I
that's,
don't want
I know. I know.
I do enjoy the committee. I think they do very good work. I would be willing to serve for the benefit of the committee, but I think I'm gonna need a lot more help this year with that, with some of the applications and some of the things that have to happen. So if there's some commitment from this, you know, we've been doing quite well of late trying to get things ready, but I think there needs to be,
I will throw my hat into the ring for that aspect. I will be glad to help you offline, meet with you, do.
I'm always happy,
electronic
I'm always
work,
happy to do that. I just
Documentation.
can't commit
I
myself
can't
to
commit
another
to something on a
board.
Monday night, but I would be happy to work with you offline.
Yeah, I just can't commit myself to another board right now, Kathy.
okay.
Do we need a motion for this?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
I don't want to make it because I don't
Yeah.
want you to be mad at me.
Well, I'm at it, I will.
I propose that Kathy McSweeney continue to serve as our ambassador or delegate on the Community Preservation Act Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye.
So record that for us, Juan. Yeah, please. For real.
The 11 months notice, okay. All right, moving on.
I'm sorry,
Yep.
Kathy, I really am.
We'll just haven't changed the day of the meeting, that's all, and then maybe someone else can do it.
Right,
Actually, if that were on the cards down the road, I mean, Monday nights, I'm busy from, May to October, every Monday night. So it's just, there's no, I miss town meeting half the time because of the commitment. So
Okay.
if that were in the cards, I would be willing to re-examine my commitment.
okay. I'll suggest that at our
I
next
also
meeting.
have a Monday,
Yeah.
I know Mondays are hard for you, because you're.
I have a Monday board, I have a Monday board meeting too. So-
Okay. All right,
It's worth asking.
So, so I agree that that makes it hard. But, thank you, Kathy.
all right, moving on.
Thank you to the chair.
For the sake of the committee, I do think the work that we have done is very valuable, so.
Absolutely.
No argument.
Okay, moving on.
I will say that, we've done very well. We've coordinated very well together, and I'm happy to continue to work with you because I think we have a good team here. I think that it was a good meeting with the Affordable Housing Committee. I know I didn't get to the CPC meeting, but Paul did, I think, with you.
You
Not
went
this
to one
time.
that
I went to one
Yeah.
Yeah,
3 months ago or 6 months ago, but not this time, yes.
But I'm happy to.
And again, pinch hitting like that, if I'm available, I'm happy to do
I
so.
mean, it's so important. I agree with you.
That was in the winter, so I was able
And
to.
I don't want to make light of the fact that
No.
it's a lot of work, Kathy. I understand that, you know.
it is some work, and that's fine, I'm not opposed to the work. I really do think more people being more involved with CPC would be better for this committee and better for their
And
committee.
for
to
that
have
committee.
Different opinions.
I
Yeah, so
agree.
I think it would be a benefit to have someone else. So I think absolutely for next year, someone else is gonna have to step in for the sake of the committees and the partnership. Okay, moving on. We have some updates from Elizabeth Street. Oh,
I have no updates.
Maybe not.
We haven't heard
Okay.
from the state about anything, right?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm gonna ask the same question I ask every time. Did he get paid?
Yeah.
yes, you
Okay.
did, yep.
Thank you for whoever
And that's why I
facilitated
would like something in writing about their Affordable Housing Trust agreement to do those two aspects of the project, just so that doesn't
that.
happen
So,
again.
right. There's
Yeah.
6 months we were chasing that.
It was, and not only were we chasing them, but there were two members of Affordable Housing Trust that were chasing as hard as we were chasing. So it was not the committee, it was town,
What's the expression? You can't fight town hall.
right? You can't. But I don't want in no way should the Affordable Housing Trust, that's not a reflection of that.
No, I wasn't implying it was.
No,
Yeah,
no, I know, I
yeah.
don't want for everyone out there to know that too.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's why I asked. It's been
Yep.
at least 6 months.
Yep, he was paid.
Last fall, last summer.
I
Yeah.
think there's a coordination that needs to.
I also
needs to
think-
be finessed.
Yes.
And we're playing outside the lanes. We're not in different boundaries. This agency did something that another agency is being paid for, that third-party agencies that they would commit, and it has to be facilitated through town hall. In a corporation, that's playing outside the
And then
lanes.
to the town meeting and then back.
Right. So I get it, but long time.
Right. So I think when we receive this document that talks about how they've agreed to do those two aspects of the project, I think the follow-up would be, can we put in writing how everyone gets paid?
Right.
And that way, we know exactly what we're supposed to do, everyone knows what their steps are.
Now, I think that's especially important, Kathy, because the surveyor that we're going to be talking to we're gonna look for a couple of different quotes on the surveys. And they're gonna be looking for, commitments on money.
Right,
'Cause
exactly.
I can tell you right now from my experience, what I'm facing right now on several fronts is the surveyors ask for half up front these days. So, because they're sending their guys out in the field.
Right.
And-
Can the town do that, though? Can they pay half up?
We'll negotiate with them, and my attitude is, we just can't do that.
Right.
So-
And so we're gonna be asking them for some understanding as to, who they're dealing with and how this is supposed to work. But I do think it's important for us to be able to give them assurance that they will indeed be paid.
My sense is the town might do a PO, which is a legally contractual obligation to, like a PSM in your world.
Yep.
So my sense is the town would issue a PO. They wouldn't do money up front, but that PO is bankable and it's in a contract and it's enforceable, or something similar, some sort of
Something
guarantee.
similar, yeah.
All right. So I will follow up, and again, they could have sent it after 3 o'clock, so maybe I do have it, but
Thank you.
when I get it, I'll get it to you, and then maybe, Richard, you can start working on,
Yep.
we're gonna have, actually do the work.
Yep.
As part of our little
Yeah,
subcommittee.
and I'll get back to you and we'll discuss that, okay?
Okay, yep, excellent.
Good. I'm excited about it. I remain excited about it. I'm looking forward to this. I think we're doing the right thing. Everybody we talk to at every committee and every board is excited about it and says, wow, this is really a good idea. Let's move forward. So
I agree.
with that in mind, I also want to suggest that we invite Mike Moore to our meeting and ask him to lobby for us for funds for this project.
Okay,
And explain to him what we've done and ask him as our senator to keep us in mind whenever something comes across his desk in terms of funding and funding opportunities. Because he's our senator and he, more than our representative, would see that stuff.
so do you think that's something that we want to invite him to our June meeting, or do you
I
think
do.
it's an offline meeting that we have with him to let him know, or?
Kathy, I think I would be, as a subcommittee member with you, I'd be willing to come down and meet him at his office hours here, but also invite him to a board
Okay.
meeting. Same with Hannah Kane.
I was just
think
gonna
it's-
say,
yeah,
I'll
it's a-
defer to you guys
yeah.
on that, but I
But
would
I
say,
think it's important to get our state senator involved. I think,
no pushback. As I say, I'll defer to you on Senator Moore. I will tell you, I've had unofficial conversations with many of the selectmen, and I echo your sentiment. It is very much a supported initiative, and official ones. When I did a pilot a year or so ago, we floated this by, and on the record, there was universal support.
Yep.
That body has changed since then, but that's neither here nor there. Also, we know we have the support of Rep. Kane. She's already lobbied to get us funds and got us through a resolution, yet to be funded, but so I guess I'm saying I echo your sentiment, and I've talked to other people, and we definitely have universal support. But to your point, Senator Moore is a stone we have not yet unturned. So I think that
we need to keep our legislators involved and informed.
No,
And I think this is a way to do that. I hate to take his time, but I think he'd be excited about this.
Okay, all right, I'm willing to take that on. I'm in touch with both of their schedule as aides on real estate issues, so that's easy for me to do.
Great, thank you.
All right,
And let me know when we need to
Yep.
come down and see you.
Yep.
Okay?
yep.
he has office hours here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that makes
Do you
it
know what
easy.
they are by any chance?
Ooh, test for Kelly.
You don't have to.
No,
it's not your job.
I
On
can
the
get back
spot.
to you.
I will tell you
That's all
this.
right. No, I'll reach out.
I will
I
tell
can-
you that he gives you a schedule every
Yeah,
month, so.
I can reach out to Dory directly. That's not again, I talked to her on other issues, so that's easy enough to manage. All right, so, anything, other comments or questions on either community preservation, affordable housing trust, or what we're working on at Elizabeth Street?
Nothing.
Good?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Excellent. So now we are unfinished business, which we have here, this is under
I think this
new
is
business?
yeah.
Okay. Unfinished business, I think. Oh, you know what? I'll save it for new business. Actually, I think you might have it. Okay, moving on to new business, Kelly?
These, you have 4 forms. These are the year-end forms that James fills out, and I have to, by May 31st, send them to DHCD. One is the top 5 compensations of everybody in the housing authority.
Top 5 what?
Top 5 employees for compensation.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The next form is the housing authority's compliance with federal and state lead paint laws.
that certifies that we do the proper notifications,
The third is.
which our executive director is telling us, I believe, that we do the proper notifications, right, Kelly?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
On the record, thank you.
And tenants sign for them once they lease up.
Nope, I just want it on the record, that's all.
The third form is all your signatures certifying to the top five,
Again, the top compensation.
the statements of tenant's account receivable. So you either certify or you decline.
Okay.
The third one was showing that James prepared it, and then I have to sign off on it. And this last one is wage match. So I'm allowed to go in when we do state annual to find out about their wages and everything, and this is just saying that I keep it confidential and I go in to check.
To make sure we're being competitive with other housing authorities.
More that the tenants are telling the truth.
Oh, you're wage checking that.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
wage checking that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
If I could, Madam Chair, I would go back to the third form and just see if we can, do we understand that?
Which is,
The certification of top five compensation form. Is that this?
Yes,
So that's certifying that we got form number one,
Mhm.
I guess, right?
the financial statements and tenants' accounts receivable data only.
Have we seen those?
That's what James prepared that night
What,
when he did the budget. These are all from the budget that you have to certify.
did
that
we
have
see
to
a tenant's accounts receivable form?
Yes, I can go pull the budget
We
now.
did, huh? Okay. You recall that?
I don't recall, but I thought it was high-level financial statements. I don't recall it was tenants' accounts receivables, but that could have been a line item in one of the forms.
I am sure it
Yes,
is.
line.
That's my guess. There was a line item in one of the forms.
Okay, all right.
I don't know that to be true, but that would be my sense. If this is something we annually sign, then that would be my sense that it's always a line.
Well, they've got, these are more forms than usual. That's why I'm asking. Okay.
any other questions?
Do we need a motion for this? Yeah, that would be my
Oh,
question.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's just
No, I
a
just think so.
certification.
Okay.
So you don't need a motion, and are there any other questions on it? Okay. So we'll sign those when we sign our checks.
So Kelly, you're certain that the tenant's account receivable stuff is on the financial statements that we reviewed the last time he was here?
Yes.
Do you need to see them? Do you want her?
I can go grab.
Why don't you get them, and that way everyone will feel confident
Okay.
when they sign. Thank you.
That's the only thing that I'm just not,
Yeah,
No, that's-
again, I don't recall. My only sense is to be a line item that I do not recall.
we're certifying, you know.
Kathy's chair now, so.
In the meantime,
I have to sign too.
this is her forms, so I'm gonna pass them along,
Okay.
okay? I'm just gonna sign.
That's good, because I actually have to leave at 10 of. So I'm gonna sign below you, assuming Kathy's gonna sign where it says chair. Or is
Yeah.
she signing here or here?
Here.
I was signing there because you were gonna sign here, but that's all right, just leave yours there.
Okay, all right. My bad. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, above me.
I'll go above you on this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on a second.
So we go here or here?
I know,
At least it's my team. Okay.
I know.
That's the chair, just the chair.
Okay, just
This is,
you,
Certif-
just the chair.
so we're certifying to both, because we're reviewing both.
Oh, I didn't check any boxes for me. What do I need to check?
Certify to both, because Kelly's provided both.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, just-
And this is just me?
Yes, I think so. Yep, that one goes back to her, I think.
All right. Is there anything else on that, the forms and
I'm
certifications?
gonna ask her to hold this until she shows us that, okay?
That's fine.
So I'm asking that you hold that too, all right? And if you need to, then you call James
I will,
and ask him
James, it's fine.
to identify it for us. And then,
She could always
if it's
push
all
it
the
off
same,
via email.
Kathy, then you could direct her to disperse the information to us, and then we can certify it. And then-
Okay.
Okay? I'm not trying to be a stick in the mud.
No, I don't think you are.
It's just didn't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember a schedule dedicated to it. I'm just assuming it rolled into a line item of some sort.
And I know it does.
Yeah.
I know it does, but I don't remember in
Yeah.
what form it does.
Same. But there's no schedule that says tenants, that I'm positive of.
Right.
Because I look at all the schedules,
Right.
and none of them was tenants. But it could easily be one of the, like where her finger is, it could be any
Oh,
one
yeah,
of those. yeah.
absolutely. But whether that comprises
That's right.
that, okay? That's accounts receivable.
I will ask James, because I know it's
All right.
in here.
That's it.
Okay, so we'll just hold that.
Yes.
Gonna hold this one, okay?
So do you want to make a motion for the record saying we're
I'm gonna make a
signing
motion that we've signed these forms.
subject to approval by, or review of validation of this or something?
And I can meet you, Kelly, and just review it and then let the
Let them know.
body know that it's been reviewed.
I move that we
Because we've
be
seen it
allowed to
once.
sign, I move that we be allowed to sign this form for certification of the top 5 compensation form, which includes the tenant accounts receivable certification, and that we direct our executive director to provide our chair the necessary information to assure that that information is as we expect it to be, and if there is any issue, hold the form.
Second.
Second, yeah. I'm not sure. You can repeat that. Yeah, yeah. I'll take that whole joke. The first
We
part.
sign it, but we're directing her to hold it until you verify.
Till I verify, yes.
Who's second?
Paul.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sloppy motion.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm concerned
it's
about
fair
it.
enough,
I mean,
fair enough.
Call me confused, okay?
No.
Okay.
All right, so we'll wait on that. This last item was something I asked to be added to new business. Just anyone who watches the news, all they hear about funding cuts. So we don't want to cause panic, but we also want to know what you're hearing from your end, and is there anything we should prepare for?
Not hearing anything yet.
Okay.
You will guys will be the first to know
Okay.
once I hear. I am going to a training next Tuesday and Wednesday
Okay.
regarding hotline changes. But that's for Section 8 and federal public housing, but I haven't heard of no cuts yet.
Okay, so maybe we can keep this on under unfinished business and just touch on it each month in case there is something we need to be
Maybe
prepared
we-
for.
If I could make a suggestion, that if it's gonna be a line item, that we have a discussion of funding,
Okay,
program funding,
Okay.
rather than impending
Okay.
cuts.
that's more
Okay.
positive.
Yeah,
Yep, so we want to call it
discussion of program funding.
program funding.
Maybe add it in between Elizabeth and unfinished, if I may make a agenda
Okay.
suggestion. If it's gonna be permanent and ongoing, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure where it logically.
And you know, it would be great to not have anything to talk about every month, and we breeze right through it, but I think if there's something to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
At least it's there.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So Kelly, did you get that?
Yes.
Ongoing funding in between Elizabeth and unfinished?
Yep.
Okay.
And Elizabeth and CPC is kind of the same topic.
And
That's-
Elizabeth and ongoing funding is gonna be kind of the same topic
Yep.
as well, I would
Yep.
think. So it's a nice little
Okay.
cluster, yeah.
Excellent, okay, good.
okay, good.
All right, does anyone on the board have anything to add today?
No matter.
Does anyone in the audience have anything to add today? Kelly, do you?
I do not.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion to close.
And I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank
We
you,
adjourn
Gary, for
at
attending as always.
4:44. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Nice to see you all.
I don't-